It's time for a creepy one. So from a haunted Italian island to a hotel straight from the mind of Stephen King, here are the 10 creepiest places on Earth. Built on the side of a mountain is Fengdu Ghost City. It is the most majestic and possibly intentionally creepy ghost city in the world. The city is partly underwater. They say it is only partly underwater as not even the tides are brave enough to enter. Fengdu was dedicated to the Buddhist concept of hell, and the whole place reflects this. From the statues of demons to more statues of demons. On a different note, the most disturbing thing about the city are the statues of demons torturing humans in what I assume to be hell. According to local legend, the spirits of dead people must visit the city. They must stand on one foot for 3 full minutes, and if they fail, they shall be cast into hell forever. El Hotel del Salto is a horror movie idyll. A long-abandoned hotel built on a cliffside overlooking a waterfall. It was forced to close down due to river pollution, and after 20 years of isolation, the place looks like the setting of a low-budget murder mystery game. Now this may be why so many have journeyed to this spot to commit suicide. Locals claim the hotel is haunted by hundreds of ghosts. They say spirits of the dead climb out of the river, back into the hotel, where they walk the corridors to this day. Let me take you back to 1831. Located in present-day Lithuania, a revolt against the Russian monarch was violently put down. In order to commemorate the dead, locals placed crosses on a nearby hill, and right now there are over 200,000 crosses and shrines on that hill. There is just something creepy about being surrounded by so many crosses. The site is growing very quickly as people keep adding crosses. Maybe soon the whole of Lithuania will be engulfed by wooden crosses. Fort Alexander is a naval fort built on a man-made island. The menacing island is located in the Gulf of Finland, partly to intimidate foreign visitors, but also to prevent any dangerous diseases from reaching land. You see, Fort Alexander is known as the Plague Fort of Russia. The fort was used as a research center for the plague. Although mostly just animals were experimented on, there are many accounts of doctors catching the disease, which meant they could never leave the island. Nara Dreamland is an abandoned, aging theme park in Japan. It was built in the 1960s as a response to America's Disneyland. In 2006 it was abandoned and hasn't been used since, transforming it from a child's dream to anyone's nightmare. Nara Dreamland is so creepy and has aged so quickly that it raises the question as to whether Disneyland theme parks are as suitable for children as almost no one thinks they are. Only recently discovered are the Southbridge vaults. These stone corridors and tomb-like vaults were home to drinking spots and market traders, as well as some of Scotland's poorest people, and even home to the bodies of those killed by the notorious serial killers Burke and Hare. The vaults were sealed and lost to time, but they were rediscovered in the 1980s. With dozens of reports of paranormal encounters, you wouldn't want to visit the place at night. In 2009, a BBC TV crew recorded 20 minutes of mysterious voices, before they ended with the sounds of children screaming. No sound engineer could find any logical reason for this. The Ukrainian city of Pripyat was evacuated shortly after the Chernobyl power plant went into meltdown. To this day, the entire city lies abandoned. All the schools, hospitals, houses, and even clocks are still there in the exact same position as when the power went out, as if frozen in time. I would avoid visiting the city, as if the radioactive material doesn't kill you, the mutated animals might. There is a forest at the base of Mount Fuji. Deep within this forest, over 100 people commit suicide every year. They say you never die alone in Suicide Forest. No one really knows why so many choose to add off themselves here in the forest, but people are employed full-time and given the task of removing the bodies. The catacombs of Paris lie 60 feet below the city. At one point they were used to literally dump bodies as local graveyards were overflowing. They contain the remains of an estimated 6 million people, leading to the catacombs being known as the largest grave in the world. Over the years, many people have found themselves lost in the tunnels and died trying to get out. The most famous was a man who died there in 1793. His body wasn't found until 11 years later. Poveglia holds the title of the world's most haunted island. The 18-acre island features both an abandoned mental asylum and a few plague pits. That's right, plague pits. A hole in the ground where plague-infected peasants would be thrown into. The island was a quarantine zone for hundreds of years, but there is one story that made the island the legend it is. In 1922, the island became home to a mental asylum and an evil doctor who experimented on his patients. One night he jumped from the hospital tower, screaming that he was tormented by ghosts.